Hey guys, and welcome back to another book video with your two favorite book nerds, Amy
and Kelly.
In today's video, we are going to be talking about how we read the highest rated books on our Goodreads TBR shelf. We did film some vlogs as well. There weren't very many because our books that we had at the top of our shelves happened to be very short. They were both under 200 pages. Yes. Although I did add in more vlogs because I continued on with the series. So.
Oh,
yeah.
She was extra.
I was extra. Just a little bit. I guess we'll throw it on back to our past selves and then we'll see you with our final thoughts. So, past Amy and Kelly, take her away, Ern.
Okay, so reading the highest rated book on my TBR. For ease, I am going to use my Goodreads want to read list rather than trying to go through my physical TBR and figure out what all those ratings are. So I'm going to go over to Goodreads, flip on books I want to read, and filter on average rating. And that's where I'm going to find the book I'm going to read. So, click, here we go. Oh, okay, so, I'm not going to read the first book. So I think it's an indie title. And it's got a really high star rating, but it's only got like 11 ratings. So yeah, probably not so much. Number 2 is actually the third book in a trilogy, and I'm not going to read a whole trilogy, so we're going to skip that one too. The third book is Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. And okay, so truthfully, I have started this and it's really dragging for me, and it's like 650 pages, so I'm so cheating here. I'm not gonna read that one either. We have kind of a quick turnaround to do this video, so I don't really have time to read a 650 page book, especially one that I'm really not much into at the moment. So that oh, okay, here we go. That leaves book number 4 on the list is A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers, which is the second Monk and Robot book. The first one was A Psalm for the Wild Built, which I just loved. I loved it so much. I gave it 5 stars. Never had to think about it right off the bat. I just loved that book. So that was about sibling Dex, who was a traveling tea monk. And he was like feeling like things weren't right with his life, that he should have been doing something else. And he decided he needed to kind of take a break and go to the wilderness kind of thing, kind of get away from it all. And he had read in some sort of history book that there was an old abandoned monastery out in the wilds. And so he was going to go out there and do that. But the problem is like, in their planet, Panga, is kind of divided into civilization, where there's the cities and there's still like woodlands and things like that, but it's not really wild. And then there's the wilds, and that's where the robots live. Crazy. There's a whole thing about that. Anyway, sibling Dex decides to do that, and on like his first night out in the wilds, out of the wilderness wanders this robot named Mosscap. And Mosscap has been asked by the rest of the robots to check up on humanity and make sure they're okay, and to ask them one question, and that is, what do you need? Which is kind of funny because that is exactly what sibling Dex is trying to figure out. And I loved that book. It just, oh my gosh, it was so cute and cozy, and at the same time there was things that were so moving about it that in places I cried. I just really loved it. So A Prayer for the Crown Shy is number 2, and that is what I'm going to read, and I'm excited about that. Also excited because it's short. It's like 152 pages. I think I can do that on a quick turnaround, and especially how much I love the first one, I'm sure that I will probably be sitting down and reading this in one shot. I don't think I'm going to have any problems with that. So I will try and update you, before I finish, but, we'll see how that goes. So I'm now about halfway through the book, and it's going about as expected. You sit down a couple hours later, I'm flying through the same course halfway, so only like 75, 80 pages, but still. This one, it's still very cozy, it's still very sweet, it's still very kind. Sibling Dex and Moscap are pretty entertaining still. In this one, there's not a lot of, so in this book, Moscap had his little kind of assignment from the other robots to go out and talk to humankind and ask them, what do you need? And so that's what this book is about. They've left the wildlands and now they're traveling around Panga, trying to, visit communities and talk to people, and Moscap's doing his thing. It's not so much, I think what I liked most about the first book was that kind of internal conflict that Sibling Dex was having, and that part really isn't here yet. And there's been a lot more like commentary on environment protection and social causes and things like that. So like this world of Panga is kind of a thought experiment about, what if we quit using fossil fuels? What if we were using more things like wind and solar, things to power what we do? What about if we recycled everything? What if we were that kind of thing? So there's a lot more commentary on that in this book, which it's interesting to kind of see this world that she imagined, that if those things happened. But it's almost a little bit boring too, because it's almost like this utopia. And there's just not a lot of kind of conflict going on to kind of build a story around. So in that sense, I would call it a lot more cozy than the first one was, but I'm still enjoying it. Like I said, the characters are still fun to follow. Moscap is funny. Just his reactions to meeting humans for the first time other than Sibling Dex. So anyway, I'm going to keep going and probably finish it tonight. But for now, I am going to have some supper, go take a shower, and then I'm going to settle in and, like I said, probably finish this book this evening. Yum. Frozen pizza. The supper of slackers everywhere.
Hey guys, it's reading vlog time. I just got back from my run and now I think I'm going to start painting in my bedroom again because I am doing a little renovating in there, which you'll see in an upcoming video. But I figured while I'm in there painting, I could have an audiobook going, and that audiobook is going to be the one that I'm reading for this whole vlog. So as I'm sure we mentioned in the intro, Kelly and I are reading the highest rated book on our Goodreads TBR shelf, and for me that happened to be The Risk by St. Abbey, which is part of the Mindf series. I have no idea how this series ended up on my TBR shelf, if we're going to be completely honest, because I am not typically like a dark romance girly. I've never gotten into it, and I can't remember if I added this book because I thought that I read somewhere that the main character was like modeled after Dean Winchester, or if she's like a serial killer, or if there had to have been something that like sparked my interest and made me want to add this to the TBR, but I cannot find it in the synopsis and I really have no idea what it was. So we're in it together. I am starting with the first book in the series. It's really short. It's only like 130 pages. So the audiobook is like 3 hours or something, I think. I don't know. I haven't fully looked. I know it's on Everand, which is like part of Scribd, and that's what I'm going to be using to listen to it. But yeah, I'm going to change into my painting clothes really quick, and then we're going to get to reading. So happy reading vlog. Okay, so it is almost 9:30 at night, which is already past my bedtime. I like to be in bed by 9 because I wake up really early in the morning. So I'm stopping painting for tonight, which also means that I'm going to stop listening to the book. I have about 40 minutes left, I think, in the audiobook, so I'd say that I'm over halfway done because the audiobook was 2 hours 17. So yeah, we're over halfway done with it. And I like it. I'm not going to say that I love it, and it's the best thing ever, but I I do like it. I think I'm sitting at like around a 3.5 star for it right now. So far, the like sex scenes and stuff in it have been pretty like mild spice, which I like, and I appreciate that because I can't handle the extremely graphic, long drawn out sex scenes. That's not for me. And none of it was like dark romancy at all. Like, it was all very, very well laid out, consensual, and everything that was happening was consensual and was okay with everybody involved. And nobody was being hurt. Everybody wanted what was happening, and I appreciate that so much. I don't really feel like there is like a lot happening. Like, it is just like you're looking into their lives and their relationship, but there's not like a whole lot of action. It's just kind of more like a mundane thing, and how she's trying to navigate her serial killer things while also dating an FBI agent who apparently is a profiler for cases involving serial killers. So she's kind of getting a little nervous that he might find out that she is a serial killer and the one dropping all the bodies here lately. But there hasn't really been anything that's been like too like thrilling or anything that would make me nervous for her at the moment. But I do like him as a character. Logan, I think is his name. I do like him. He's cute. He sounds cute and sexy, and yeah, it kind of makes me want to date an FBI agent. Overall, I think it's going pretty good. There is a good chance after I finish this one, I think, that I'm going to continue on with the series. But most likely the next time that you will see me, it will be with Kelly, and we'll be discussing final thoughts, because with only an hour left in the book, not even an hour left, I don't feel like I'm going to have anything like big to say in between now and the end of the book that I can't wait. That's all for tonight. That's all for my vlogs. Unless I decide to throw in some cats who are deciding to fight right now. What are you doing, boys? This is their new favorite spot now that the bed's out here in the hallway while I'm renovating the bedroom. But the cats love to sit up here on the mattresses. Don't you? Mama spends all the money on nice cat trees for you. But where do you choose to sit? Cardboard boxes. Oh yeah, ignore my bloody thumb. Cardboard boxes and mattresses, apparently. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then Bailey's around here somewhere. I'm assuming she's underneath the table. Oh, yeah, she's right here on the chair. Say hello, Miss Girl. She's been feeling like super sweet and cuddly and wanting all of the pets and attention lately. And I'm not sure what's up with that, but I'm also not complaining, so. But anyway, I'm gonna shower because I am gross. And like I said, I'll see you when I'm with Kelly. Say bye, boys. Okay, so I know I said that I probably wasn't going to like see you guys again. Oh god. Sorry, I'm trying to get you to set up. Okay. I know I said that I probably wouldn't see you guys again until I was with Kelly and we were going to discuss the final thoughts in the book. And yeah, that's a lie because I have to continue on with this series. It ended on a huge cliffhanger and I need to know what the heck is going to happen because it's getting good, y'all. It's getting good. Yeah, like, it's still not the best book that I've ever read, and it's not like the best thriller, or it's not the best anything, but it is like, I'm invested. It has me invested, and I'm not even gonna, like, the first book was a 3-star, but I am still invested, and I need to know what happens next and how things go, and I'm just, so I will be continuing on with the next book, and we'll see how that goes. I hope that it's on Everand, though. I'm assuming that it is. I also need to figure out what the next book is, because I didn't look that up, but I don't know. So I'll probably have more updates for you then, because there's a good chance I'm going to finish this whole 5-book series. So back in the bedroom, I have the ceiling to paint still, but like, guys, look at the walls. You're getting to see this before the actual renovation video, so you should feel like you're very lucky right now, but I am so in love with it. I am so in love. It's amazing. That's exactly what I was going for, exactly what I was hoping for, and it's so great. But we're not here to talk about the bedroom, we're here to talk about books, aren't we, Grangy? Yeah, we're here to talk about books. So I finished the second book in the Mindf series. It's called Sidetracked, and I didn't like it as much as the first. I still kind of felt like the writing was kind of meh. Very similar to the writing in the first book, so that wasn't my holdup with this, or why it got a lower rating. My biggest problem, hey! Stop it right now! My biggest problem was probably the change in Logan's character. In this second book, he kind of like he started to lean way more into that whole like alpha male persona, and just everything that I really don't like about male characters in romance books, in like dark romance books. And it was kind of like also still leading to the touch and you die kind of thing, although granted, you know, like they're dealing with an actual like murderer, so like, I mean, yeah, but I don't know, it's just weird. I personally didn't like his character in this book as much. We're still dealing with her, Lana, trying to keep her secret from being found out, and Logan is still like hunting down the serial killer who happens to be her, but like also not, because like now they're chasing down another murderer, whatever, that's like sidetracking. I don't freaking know. It's not a terrible book, but it's also not great. But what is great? The freaking cliffhanger! Oh my gosh, these books have cliffhangers that have me like, I can't stop the series now. Like, if it wasn't for the cliffhangers, I probably would not continue on with reading the next book and the one after that, but these cliffhangers have me in a chokehold. Like, oh my gosh, I have to continue on and find out what happens because they're so freaking good cliffhangers. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do while I'm painting the ceiling. I'm gonna start book 3, or continue in book 3, because I did start it before I left today. But yeah, overall the series is not going to get a very high rating from me. I can already tell you that. Like, it's not going to get better. I don't think, but I can't stop. It's like a car accident. Like, you just can't look away. I'll see you after I finish book 3 probably. Okay, so I just finished book 3 of the Mindfuck series, and again, it was okay. I feel like with this one I was zoning out a little bit more than I had with the other two, but I do like how this one had more about the actual like case, like her killing men and things like that. I didn't like how the FBI lady handled things in this book. I thought it was kind of like out of character for her, and yeah, I don't know. The cliffhanger at the end wasn't as good as the other two cliffhangers have been, so honestly I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, but I'm 3 books in out of a 5-book series, and I might as well just finish because it's not like they're long. So I don't know. Like, they're still just okay. They're nothing spectacular. I wouldn't really recommend them unless you just want something going, like some noise, because I really don't think that they're great. I'll probably continue on with book 4, and I'll see you after I finish that one. Say hi, Grangy. Say hi, look right here. Say hi. I'm using
Look at me, I'm using my cat tree for once. I'm using my cat tree. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this cute boy. Yeah, look at you, you're so cute. And then there's Figgy. Where's Figgy? Right here. Hi, Big. Hi. Where's Bailey? Right there's Bailey. Yeah, my cute babies. Here. Say, okay, we'll see you later for the next book. Say, we'll see you later.
We're back, eh? All right. Well, do you want to start talking about your book?
I can start talking about my book. We have not seen each other's vlogs, so we have no idea. So I read A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers, which is number 2 in the Monk and Robot series. The first one being A Psalm for the Wild Built. As you just saw, I was so excited to read this book because I loved this book. I did not love A Prayer for the Crown Shy. It was okay.
Yikes.
It was okay. I ended up with 3 stars. What I loved so much, which I have already said, but what I loved so much about this book was the struggle of sibling Dex. And he, it was done in a very cozy way. It was not, you know, there's a lot of deep thoughts, but it was a cozy science fiction book. But that internal struggle, just the way it would hit, things that you could relate to, just, you know, it like it was hitting for him, it hit me. And so a lot of things that he struggled with felt very familiar. And so when he was going through it, I cried like several times. And this book was really short too. Anyway, in A Prayer for the Crown Shy, it just wasn't, that was not the story. So as I said, it follows, they're now out of the wilderness and they're on to Mosscap's, kind of his goals instead of focusing on sibling Dex so much. But those deep thoughts, those deep questions, those struggles with those deep questions just was not there. So a lot of that was just missing, and because of that, it felt very surface level. There were some moments though. I mean, Becky Chambers is probably the only person who could make me cry over a fish. I didn't cry, but I did definitely choke up. This book felt like half therapy session and half show me your world. So it was a lot of them traveling and her talking about the world. It's very much a utopia kind of book. Like, if we did environmental conservation, this is what it would look like and this is how good it would be. And now there was a part in here talking about also getting rid of like a money-based society. And as long as everybody's needs are met, everybody will be kind and gentle and there will be no fighting. I personally don't agree with that assessment. So things like that just hit me really wrong, and it almost felt preachy. It didn't really get there, but it was getting there. And then at the end, this other thing like springs out and you're like, well, if that's a theme, where's that been through the whole book? So yeah, it was not. Anyway, I did give it 3 stars because she is an amazing writer. I do like this world. I like the world that she's created. It's very interesting. It is interesting to read how they conserve and things that they have made. Becky Chambers has a very strong science background, so, you know, these ideas feel very real, and it's really interesting to explore that. It just didn't hit the mark the way A Psalm for a Wild Built did, but still a good book, and I think it will be interesting to see where it goes from here, and where they go further. Because I have my ideas about where it's going to be, and I think maybe that might be a little deeper again. So, that was the other thing. there's a lot of philosophy. I keep holding this up like it's the one I read. There's a lot of philosophy in this book. And it was like every other person they met and talked to was a deep thinking philosopher. They would have like philosophy discussions. Philosophical discussions. And it was like, okay. You know? Okay, sure. But it was just like a presentation of this is how people think in this world, because we have risen above all of our pettiness, and now we have time for deep thinking. And that's what it felt like reading it. You know, interesting ideas, but yet the presentation was just off for me. That was my experience. But you went on with the series of yours, so.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so my book was The Risk by S.T. Abbey, which is part of the Mindf series. So like the whole series as a whole was listed as like one book on Goodreads, and that was at the top. Oh. But each, like the series, there's like 5 books in the whole book. I don't know. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna read The Risk because it was short and I don't need to read an entire series. I gave that one 3 stars, 2.75 stars, and the only reason why I continued on was because of the dang cliffhanger at the end. This book is so good, the cliffhangers.
Oh, she got you.
She got me with almost all of them.
How many of them did you read?
I read 4, and I started the 5th one. I started the final one.
What, she did hook you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like the first two books, the cliffhanger at the end was just like, oh my god, are you kidding me? And so like I have to continue on, and then the 3rd book was like, well, I know what's gonna happen. Like I need to see how this plays out because like, you know, I'm whatever. And then by the 4th book, I'm like, I'm invested at this point. I might as well just finish the series. So I started the 5th and I just haven't finished it. But yeah, I'm like, ah. I don't even really like these books. Oh! This is the issue. Each one of them has been like 2.5 to 2.75 stars. Like the books, I didn't like them, but I gotta know what's happening.
Well, good with the hooks. Good with the hooks then.
Yeah, so the Mindfuck series is about a girl named Lana Myers who is on a quest for revenge, pretty much. She had a very big traumatic experience when she was younger, which you will hear about in every book pretty much. And as you go on with the series, it gets more and more graphic to the point where it's just like unnecessary. Like I don't need to hear this again, and I really don't need to hear these details because it's like, why? We know she has trauma. We know what she went through was very traumatic. So she's on a quest for revenge to pretty much kill all of the people who did her wrong in that whole situation. Like she's taken them out, brutally killing them one by one, and she's like kind of going, she has a list of like the ones that were the least to the most like influential or like whatever in the thing that happened, and so she's just hunting them down one by one. And she ends up meeting this FBI agent, and they hit it off and they start seeing each other. Well, turns out that Mr. Agent Logan Bennett is not only an FBI agent, but he's a profiler who is hunting down the serial killer that's taking out all of these men. Serial killer happens to be her. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's just like a forbidden romance kind of a thing. These books are not good. They're not terrible. I don't know, it's just like whatever. It's just like whatever. I went on Goodreads after like finishing the 4th book because I'm like, there's no way that people are rating it this high. Like something's got to be different. Over 70% of people who read this, and this book has over 75,000 ratings, over 70% gave it 5 stars.
Oh.
1% of people gave it 2 stars. And 5% gave it 3 stars. And I'm like, how is this possible? I'm flabbergasted right now. Okay, like the characters in this book have no personality. They're very one-dimensional, pretty much. There's nothing to them. Their romance really irks me to my core, because it went from like, you don't see any like development of their romance. It's literally just like they met at the bar, he gave her his number, they started texting because their work, her killing and his actual job, kept them apart from seeing each other. And then the second that they did get together, boom, sex. And then every time after, sex. Like, they didn't even go on a date. They didn't go on a single date in any of these 4 books. Not a one. And he's already being like, I'm so obsessed with you. And they're both like, I'm so in love with you. And like, this other serial killer that I'm hunting down, he's going to come after you because he knows how much I care about you and love you and all of these things. And I'm like, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. This isn't real love. This is just lust at this point. And she knows that he obviously is like working on her case, and so anytime that she's with him, she's putting on a whole like facade, like a whole new personality, and trying to think of like how normal girls would react in certain situations and stuff, and not actually reacting how she would. Like, she's trying to be like all sweet and innocent and just like, oh my gosh, like so taken aback by the things that are happening and the things he sees and like whatever. And that's not her. It's not her. She could take him out if she wanted to. Like, she's a badass. And like, so I'm like, he's not even falling in love with her. He's falling in love with a different girl. So I'm like, this romance is not romancing. This is not working for me. But I will say that I very strongly support women's wrongs in this one, because what Lana is doing, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Those mother effers deserved everything that they got. And I wish that the book would have gone into more graphic detail about like showing the scenes, because it's a dual POV, so you get her, Lana's POV and Logan's. And I wish that we would have had more time spent with her while she was committing the murders. Like, it was very much kind of like a, from his POV, telling us what she did or like how they found the bodies, or like little snippets where she's with them but that doesn't actually then like follow her through the process. So I kind of wish that it would have been more described, like what she was doing and things, because I mean, like, there were some things that I'm like, oh, well, that would have been fun.
Yeah, well, and it's a revenge plot. Don't you want to see what she's saying to these men as she's killing them?
Yeah, and like, you got little bits of that, but I just wanted more. And there was a scene where, oh, I'm not gonna spoil it because it was so good, but it literally made me laugh out loud because what she did to these guys was so amazing. I hear the last book is the most action-packed of it, like as far as actual action and not sex, which, I mean, yeah. They're actually, like, the first book was very heavy on that, like the more romance, and then the middle books were definitely, like, there wasn't a whole lot of that. Like, there was some thrown in there, but like, even then, they weren't like, I'm happy because they weren't like graphically
they weren't good.
they were not good. They were not good. It was pretty much just like, he thrust and we're done. Like, I hated them, but like, I also appreciated them because I didn't have to listen.
Not there.
Yeah, I didn't have to listen to everything in detail.
So like, the ideal 5th book would be plot twist. She's been playing him all along and she kills him at the end and goes off on her merry way. I doubt that's it, but that would be the good ending.
That would be so good. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but how this book series collectively could get 5 stars from anyone is mind-boggling to me.
Well, there are people, and again, no shade as always, but there are people that gave, you know, I don't even know, Rebecca Yarros's books. They gave them 5 stars. They were lining up at Target to buy Onyx Storm.
It was one of the fastest selling
Yeah.
books.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, no shade. If you love it, that's awesome for you. I'm happy for your excitement. I remember waiting. I have pre-orders coming in right now that I'm like, get here. So I get that, but I don't get why you like the book, but that's okay. But yeah, I don't get your all 5-star ratings either. You know, taste, my friends, taste.
I don't know if people are just giving it 5 stars because it's like, she's getting back at these guys. Like it's a, you know, girl power kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Which I could see. I could totally see. Because honestly, her killing these dudes, best part of the book. 100%. If there had been more of that in it, they would have gotten higher ratings. Would it have been 5 stars? No. But it probably would have been like solid 3 or 4 if I would have had like more descriptions.
And again, no shade to anybody, but I've noticed that there are some people that if there is any sort of romance involved, they're going to give it 5 stars. I mean, it's like, it doesn't even matter if it's good or bad, or as long as there's romance in it.
Maybe what we should do for like one of our next videos is read the lowest rated. Since we both didn't like the highest rated, we should read the lowest rated.
Read the lowest?
Yeah, now I'm curious to know what that would be.
I was gonna say, what is that exactly?
I'm scared now to know.
It's probably something I've already read and actually liked.
It's a book I own.
Mine's a thriller. The Ate the Dark by Mallory Pearson. Obviously something about it appealed to me.
My lowest is a 3.1, and it's The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll do that in the future, but...
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about my books.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree.
It was an experience, and I didn't love it.
It was a short one, at least. It was a short one. It didn't take up too much of my time, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same, but I mean, it's my own fault for continuing on with the series.
Well,
but those dang cliffhangers, man! They were
they
so good!
Still got you. I think for A Prayer for the Crown Shy, if you're a person that wants to read for the vibes, you're gonna be fine with that book. Yeah, because the vibes are there. The cozy, feel good, very minimal conflict. Very minimal. Very minimal conflict. So if you just want to read for vibes, that's fine. I think if you are someone who agrees with her philosophy, as far as all we need to do is make sure people are taken care of, I think you'll be fine with this book too. Yeah, having read the first book, I wanted something more. I wanted the things that made me cry, and they weren't there. Although I will say the metaphor in the book, that's the title, informed the title, was one of the most subtle metaphors, and it was perfect, and it just made me, oh. So yeah, read it for the vibes, and it'll be fine. Just a little romp through a fun little sci-fi land while you follow a robot that's asking humans what they need. They could have like played that up so much and had Moscat been confused over why people answer different things. Like some people would answer physical needs, you know, like, well, I need help getting my door fixed, or I need this, or I need food, or I need this. And so there's that. And then other people would be like, I'm lonely, I need companionship, or I need love, or, you know, and why was he not confused? You know, he's supposed to be taking all this in and, like, you know, gathering data. So why did he and Sibling Dex not have these conversations about why so different? Why it didn't happen. Maybe in the next book. Maybe in the next book.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it then. If you enjoyed watching this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, go on down below the video and hit the little red subscribe button so you can join the Everyday Adventure family and see our beautiful faces every Sunday with new book videos. Also, be sure to go and follow us over on TikTok and Instagram at Everyday Epic Book Club, where we post even more content and updates and things like that you don't want to miss out on.
I know. And while you're doing all that, be sure you check out the rest of Amy's channel because there's more than just book stuff. Although at this point in time, we now have 3 years worth of book stuff. So there's lots to look at there. But if you're looking for something different, she also has home decor. She has shopping hauls. She has home renovations, deep cleaning projects, travel. She has a new cooking segment and a lot more. And if that's still not enough, you can check out her blog as well, where she has features like Watch It Wednesdays and Foodie Fridays. So check it all out and become a part of the entire Everyday Adventurer family.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed watching. And I'm Amy.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are
The Everyday Epic.
We'll see y'all in the next one.
Bye.
Go Chiefs! Go Packers! Packers!